It was definitely a great idea to start using this layout before transitioning to my new planner because it has made the transition so smooth and effortless. And it's just such an upgrade because in the Hobonichi I had to set up the whole layout every single day. And even though it's a very simple layout, it was still effort. It just felt like I have to set up my planner every day. So transitioning to this one, which is already set up, has been so easy, and I appreciate that every single day I don't have to set up anything. And what I did basically for this extra box here that I usually do random lists, which are not really to-do lists, what I do in this one is I just put a line here to indicate that the to-do list is done and the extra list is starting here. So this is just a very easy way and really effortless. Like there's no boxes, there's nothing, and it just looks uniform because it doesn't look like anything different. So I just do my to-do list here, and then whenever I feel like it, whenever the to-do list is done, I just start my extra list. I don't know what is up with me in extra lists, which are not to-dos. Usually it's like ideas or things that I like to do. I don't know, it just helps me to remember things, so I'll just keep doing it. I just love that it doesn't require extra effort. I just put a line there and just write my list, so that's nice. Something that I've noticed is that basically throughout all of my journals here, I started in 2023 to journal daily, and the way I wanted to do it was in this specific layout, which again has the to-dos and extra lists and a lot of space for journaling and doodles. But I started with a blank notebook. This is not a planner. It has zero layout. It was just a grid paper and there was nothing to it. So I started from a zero structured notebook. And then I went to a semi-structured notebook, which is the Hobonichi, the actual planner, which has some layouts here, but it still allows you to do whatever you want with it. And then obviously I started to do the timeline layout because at that point I realized that I wanted to move to the Jibun Techo planner. So at that point, I was structuring a lot more based on this planner, essentially. What happened was I went from no structure to minimal structure to full structured planner, essentially. I don't know what happened. I guess in my journey of trying to discover what works for me, I slowly just transitioned into a very structured planner, which I thought that would never work for me. I don't know, I thought I would always stick to a non-structured planner, which again, you could argue that this is also structured because I created a very specific layout that I used every day. But in my previous planner, I should actually show that as well. So my previous planner slash journal, which this one was my second one, and this was a DIY notebook, so I'm very proud of it. But this one was, again, zero structure, and I was not doing a specific daily layout. Of course, I didn't know what I wanted. This was highly experimental. I just tried different things every single day just to see what would work for me, right? Because eventually I wanted to move forward to a structured planner. I think it just makes things so much easier. You don't have to think about the layout every day. And having a uniform planner just is so satisfying to me. And definitely for my schedule right now, it just makes sense because I don't have the time that I used to have to experiment and to do a bunch of different doodles or to try a bunch of different layouts like this. This was fun, trust me. This was a lot of fun to do, and I highly recommend if you have the time or if you're trying to discover your own style and what works for you. It's great to go through a journal that is not structured and that gives you the freedom to just try different things every day. But at the time I was working part-time, so I had all the time in the world to experiment and try different things. But mainly I think I didn't know what I wanted, and that's why this worked for me, because I had to try different things. Now that my schedule is so rigid in a way, it makes sense to have a structured planner. I don't have to deal with the layout. I don't have to figure out anything. I just come in and start writing about my day, start writing my to-dos. There's nothing much to figure out. There is some minimal space here for doodles, which is still really nice. And I guess I could do, there's still freedom. I could do more doodles. I could, instead of stickers, I could do doodles in the journaling space. But I just feel that this is perfect for my schedule right now, because I do have a very busy schedule and I don't want to pressure myself creatively to decorate a spread every single day. So this just allows me to create something pretty with minimal effort, essentially. I just do a few doodles and also get to use my stickers, which is lovely. And it just makes sense. I don't know, I'm so happy with this. It just works. It simply works. Of course, I tried the timeline schedule much earlier before actually getting the new planner, because of course I wanted to transition in a more smooth way, let's say. But it didn't work exactly the same, because again, I had to set up the layout, and the Hobonichi has a very different structure. So it has very big margins here, a much bigger space for doodles, which was nice, but I think I prefer the smaller space here. And I think the grid is slightly bigger on this one. Yeah, it looks bigger, much bigger actually. Let me measure. So we have 4 millimeters for the Hobonichi and 3 millimeters for the Jibun Techo. So yeah, it's slightly smaller, which I kind of like. At first it was kind of hard for me to get used to the small grid. As you can see here, my letters are much bigger, and slowly I think I got used to it, and now I officially settle into it. I try to keep my handwriting small, but it's hard because, you know, originally my handwriting is big, but I think I got used to it by now and I'm very happy with it. So yeah, officially the transition was a good idea and it was very smooth. I highly doubt that I would ever go back to Hobonichi because of two things, I would say. Primarily, it's the paper. I have to say, I don't want to be picky or anything, but I do not like the paper. I don't know what happened here. I know there was a change in paper. I was not happy with it whatsoever. It just doesn't feel like the quality that I was expecting. And I don't even know if it's Tomoe River paper, maybe it's the new Tomoe River paper, but this notebook actually has the old one. I think they still sell this specific one. And the paper just feels so different. I don't know, it's just such a different experience. It wasn't bending. I don't know, this paper was bending a lot. While I was writing, it was just folding like this. So that was an issue that I did not experience with this paper, right? This paper, I had never had an issue of it going like this and bending. Of course, I was using fine liners, so maybe that was the issue. Fine liners don't really press down on the paper as much. Is this the same paper? I'm not crazy, right? This is not the same paper, right? It's a different color as well, it seems. I don't know. Could this be the same paper and I'm just confused? I don't know. But yeah, perhaps it was my fault. Maybe it was the use of gel pens, pressing down on the paper too much and making it fold like this. Of course, as soon as I finished my spread and I closed the book, it would just straighten right back. It was fine. But while I was writing, it was just bent like this. It was crazy. I had to hold it down in various ways just so I could write on my spread. So I don't know. The experience was just really annoying. Like I couldn't handle it every day having to fight with the paper. I don't know. Maybe it was the use of gel pens, and maybe this is the same exact paper and I'm just crazy here. I don't know. But I never had an issue with it while I was writing in this one. I don't know. Let me know if I'm crazy, because I'm too lazy to Google this. But yeah, I don't think I'll be going back to the Hobonichi anytime soon. The second reason is the size. I think this is too big for me and just sort of like too much space wasted somehow. Of course, this works so well for many people, so I'm not gonna say anything bad about it because it's a good planner. I don't have anything else to say about it. It's just for me, the paper didn't work and the size, which of course is a preference. And I'm sure many people don't have an issue with it because it's a very popular planner. So yeah, I don't think it's a bad planner. I just think that it didn't work for me specifically. Plus, as soon as I discovered the timeline method, I just couldn't go back. And of course, it didn't make sense to continue drawing a timeline in this planner since there is a planner that is already set up this way. So yeah, I think this might be it for me in terms of scheduling, planning, and journaling. I don't think I need anything else in terms of that. Of course, I'm using some extra notebooks for different reasons, but this is my main planner. And for now, I'm just extremely happy with it. I don't know, I love it. Absolutely love it. Every single day. It's a lovely companion to my day. I just have this laid out in front of me. And it's so much easier because it's smaller. And because I usually have this just laid out in front of me, and I work on this desk as well. So usually I just have my keyboard here, and I just kind of go over the planner, and it doesn't bother me because it's so small. This planner was kind of getting in the way. It was too big and it was getting in the way. Every time I would reach over to my keyboard, it would just get in the way and sort of bend, and I don't know. Again, nothing against this planner. It's just my preference and my lifestyle, I guess. So yeah, these are the reasons that I wouldn't go back to this. But yeah, this is perfect. I absolutely love it. It works 100% for what I need it to work. And I think I've talked about this way too much. So I'm just gonna move on to the next notebooks that I'll be using for 2025. So essentially my full setup for this year, which I think might be the one. I don't know. I think the rest of the notebooks might change, but for now, this is what I'm working with. So these are the rest of the notebooks that I'll be using for 2025, and some of them I've been using in 2024 as well. This one is the small pocket log that I use for various ideas that I have, mostly related to my small business, has to do with products that I want to create, mostly about my stickers, and I also have some different product ideas that I want to develop. This one is almost done, I think. Yeah, just a few pages left. So I will be transitioning into this one, which again, same thing, pocket log, same brand from Kutkazacht, which is the YouTube channel in a nutshell. I love their art and I love the channel in general, so I think I'll keep buying these because they are so pretty. So yeah, I'll be transitioning in this one for, again, the same layout and same theme, which is just ideas and things that I want to remember. So yeah, as soon as this finishes, it's just a few pages left. So soon I'll be transitioning to this one because I also think that the colors match a little bit better. So I can't wait to start using this one. Here I'm using another pocket log for my Stardew Valley game. And it's just such a complicated game that needs a lot of notes. I have to keep track of my progress, my to-dos, my goals for the game, also the bundles. I like to keep track of those because I don't want to go back into the community center to see the bundles. So I just keep track here. Here I mark my progress in terms of skills. I need to update this because since the last time I updated this, I have progressed here. So I think farming, I'm level 7 at this point. So I need to mark it in. But yeah, it's such a cute idea for, essentially it's a game notebook. So this one is not something that I use every day. It's mostly a companion to my gaming. So yeah, I really like it though. And I'm glad that I started this because it's very useful as well. These will be the 2 pocket logs that I'll be using. This is my bullet journal and I've been using this for various things. I even do some planning here. I do mostly sketching which is nice because I love the paper. So far, I think this has been my favorite paper. I mostly use it for ideas and sketching out some new stickers and illustrations that I want to do later on. So yeah, this is kind of a mixed notebook with no structure, has various categories, and I'm not going to add any structure to it. I think it works the way it is right now. But I think it's developing as mostly a sketchbook at this point. I have to say, the paper, I've mentioned it already, but I have to take a moment to appreciate the paper because this is my absolute favorite paper. It's not even that thick, but it feels much thicker than the other papers. Obviously not thicker than this one. This is much thicker, obviously, but this feels more like regular paper in a way, but this one just feels very special, while at the same time is thick enough to hold any kind of marker or pen or anything like that, and at the same time is thin enough so it doesn't bulk up too much. I don't know, I love it. I even love the color, which is kind of creme, not white. Overall, amazing experience with the paper. I love the size as well. I'm not sure what kind of size this is. This is B6, I'm not quite sure. But the size also is really lovely. If I were to buy this again, I think I would get the smaller size. I think there's a A7, I'm not sure, or A6. Maybe I would get the A6 because I just enjoy smaller notebooks when it comes to sketching and ideas. So yeah, next time I buy this, it's gonna be a bit smaller, but I'm definitely loving the paper and the overall experience of using it. So yeah, I'm definitely a fan. This is a Leuchtturm and I'm just loving it. I believe the cover here is vegan. It's not leather. Real leather just freaks me out. I don't want to have to deal with that. I'm not a vegan, but I don't like the idea of real leather. It's just, ew, gross. So I love that this is vegan. And yeah, I have nothing bad to say about this. It's just an overall amazing experience. So I'll be using this as well for this year. I think because I don't write in it every day, I don't sketch every day, it's gonna last me the whole year, right? So I think I started using it halfway through 24. That's why it's quite empty. And this one, of course, my graphic novel notebook. I'm sure you've seen it before. And I have been neglecting this for a while. So I will try to get back on it and do a few more spreads. Of course, my schedule would not allow for this at this point because I was so busy and working so many more hours than I used to. So it's just keeping me back a lot. But hopefully this year I'll find some extra time to work on this, because it's such a passion project and it's so exciting for me to work on it. But I think the most important thing for me is being able to develop my writing skills and my drawing skills. So as you know, I draw cartoony illustrations like this that I use for my stickers, but I would love to be able to draw a little bit more realistic in a way. This still has a sort of cartoony style to it, but it's more sophisticated, I guess, with much more detail. And I still like that it looks a bit cartoony, but I also like that it's much more sophisticated. It really pushes me to expand my skills and to really develop as an artist. So I definitely want to get back into it. And of course, this could last for more than a year because it's quite big, has a lot of pages. This is again the Toma River paper. This is from Hobonichi. So I guess this will be the only Hobonichi notebook that I'll be using this year. So yeah, I think this is it. I love the design. And of course, I love this paper. Obviously, this is really nice. I'm not sure if I'll be purchasing again from Hobonichi at this point, but I really do love these notebooks, so I might be getting more in the future. But for now, this is my complete collection and I'm very happy with it. It covers all of my needs, all of my projects, I don't know if I'll be adding anything to this lineup because it's already a lot, I think, but I will be doing a collaboration soon, and I'm expecting a package that contains a bullet journal. So I don't know if I'll be incorporating that into my system somehow, but ideally I would love to, because this bullet journal is not something that I use as a structured bullet journal, so maybe the new one can be a more structured one. But again, that's for the future. The next few weeks I'll be doing a video on that as well. The collaboration is with Hubman and Chubgirl, which I'm so excited about because I'm such a small channel and I did not expect them to reach out to me. I already have down below a discount for their shop that they offered for my viewers. So I'm just very, very excited. This is a huge milestone for me. And soon I'll be receiving their package and I'll be doing a video with that. And hopefully I can incorporate the new bullet journal into my lineup. But for now, this is it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.